Hello, this is Pavel. I am a technology executive. I run technology for service company and I help service businesses turn into technology-run companies. This is today's operating brief, where I take what happening in AI and technology and ask one question. What does it actually change for a service company? Today, I want to make one argument from five different doors. The argument is this: AI is not a revolution. It is evolution. It is the next, more complex step of running a business on technology. And almost everything is changes map to a business law that already existed. Division of labor, the principal agent problem, the experience curve, automation, span of control, none of those are new. What is new is that they are moving out of textbook into your software. So if you already understand how a business works, you already understand most of what AI is doing. Let's go through five of them. The first door is one of the oldest idea in business, division of labor. Adam Smith wrote about the pin factory more than 200 years ago. One person draws the wire, one straightens it, one cuts it, one sharpens it. Split the work into specialized steps and output goes up. Every service company already runs on this. Intake, scheduling, delivery, billing, support, those are divisions of labor. Now, here's the current signal. A working paper I saw referenced claimed that AI native companies operate with roughly a quarter fewer employees than compatible peers. The easy reaction is AI replaces people. Here's my view. AI is not ending the division of labor. AI is adding a new cut to it. For the first time, one of the workers in the pin factory can be software. A slice of the intake, a slice of the research, a slice for the first draft, slice of routing. That can now be a machine step in the line. But here's the part the headline misses. Smith's factory only worked because someone reassembled the pieces into a pin. The more you divide the work, the more coordination you need to put it back together. So when you hand a slice of work to a software, you do not remove work, you move it. The new work is integration. Who connects the machine step to a human step? Who makes sure the handoffs is clean? Who owns the seam where a software passes the job back to a person? For a service company, that is the practical lesson. The win is not fewer people. The win is cleaner line where machine steps and human steps hand off without dropping the work. So the takeaway, take one workflow and draw the assembly line. Mark every step. Then ask one question at each step. If this is a human step or machine step or a handoff. The handoffs are where your real AI work lives. AI does not end the division of labor. It just made one of the workers a machine, and somebody still has to assemble the pin. The second door is hiding in the word everyone is using right now, agent. Everybody wants AI agents that book an appointment, agents that answer the customer, agents that move work across systems. But step back, the word agents did not come from AI. It came from business and law. An agent is someone you authorize to act on your behalf. A real estate agent, a purchasing agent, a booking agent. And there is a whole body of business thinking about this called the principal agent problem. It asks three questions that are hundreds of years old. What is the agent allowed to commit you to? How do you make sure the agent acts in your interest, not in its own convenience? And how do you know that the agent actually did? And here's my view. When you deploy an AI agent, you have not entered the future. You have re-entered the old problem with a new kind of agent. A human agent who booked a customer into the wrong slot creates a problem. A human agent who promises something the company cannot honor creates a bigger one. An AI agent can do both faster and at scale. So the question is not, is the model smart enough? The question is the same one you would ask before giving a new employee signing authority. What can this agent commit the company to without a human? Where does the authority stop? And can you reconstruct what it did after the fact? For the service company, this is a very concrete. The moment an agent touches scheduling, billing, claims, quotes, or a customer promise, it is acting with your authority. If you would not give a 2-week employee that authority without limits, do not give it to the agent either. And the move is, for one AI agent, you are considering writing authority in one page. What it can decide alone, what it must hand to a person, what it can never promise, that is not red tape. That is same thing you would do before letting in any agent signing in your name. An AI agent is still an agent. A principal agent problem did not retire. It just learned to type. The third door is something you can feel in your invoices. AI keeps getting cheaper per use. Model prices drop. A capability that was expensive last year is a fraction of the cost this year. It feels like a special property of AI, and it is not. There's an old business law called the experience curve, sometimes the learning curve. It says that as the cumulative volume is sometimes doubles, the cost to produce it falls by the predictable percentage. It held for aircraft, it held for semiconductors, it held for solar panels. It is holding for AI. And here's my view. The falling price is not the interesting part. The interesting part is what the smart operator does with it. Because the experience curve has a second half that people forget. When your cost to deliver something drop, you have a choice. You can pocket the saving, or you can reinvent the saving and doing more, doing it better, or reaching customer you could not afford to serve before. The companies that won on the experience curve almost never just pocketed it. They used the lower cost to expand what they offered. For a service company, this is real questions, AI prices rise. If the cost of tasks just dropped by 80%, what do you do with that 80%? Do you quietly take its margin? Or do you use it to give every customer the kind of attention you used to reserve for the biggest account? That is a strategy decision, not a technology decision. So pick one task where AI just made the delivery cheaper. Then decide on purpose where the savings go. Margin, better service, or better reach. Make a choice instead of accident. So cheap AI is not magic. It is the experience curve. And the curve only rewards the companies that reinvest the saving instead of pocketing them. The fourth door is the oldest fear in technology. The machine takes the job. Let me give you the example that settles in, the ATM. When automated teller machine arrived, the obvious prediction was simple. Machine dispense cash, so banks need a few tellers. What actually happened is the opposite of the simple story. Because each branch needed fewer tellers, branches got cheaper to run. So banks opened more branches, and the number of tellers for a long stretch went up, not down. But the job changed. The teller stopped being a cash counting machine. The teller moved towards sales, relationship, and solving problems the machine could not. Here's my view, and it is old economic law. Automation replaces a task. It does not usually replace the whole person. It takes the most mechanical part of the work and pushes the human towards judgment. This is exactly what AI is doing right now. It's very good at mechanical layer. Drafting, summarizing, sorting, first pass answers. It's not taking over the judgment layer, Knowing which exception matters, knowing when the customer needs a person, knowing when the confident answer is wrong. For a service company, this is the point when I want to be very clear about. The task getting cheaper does not make the work less valuable. It moves the value. The drafting got cheaper. Deciding what is right and standing behind it got more valuable. So the goal is not to defend the old task. The goal is to move your people up to the judgment the machine cannot do. So take one role in your company. List the mechanical part and the judgment part. Let AI take a run at the mechanical parts and deliberately give that person more of the judgment work. That is not eliminating the role, that is promoting it. So take away the ATM did not kill the teller. It killed the boring part of the job and made the human part worth more. AI is doing the same thing. And the last door is a management idea that is over a century old: span of control. It is a simple rule. One manager can only directly oversee so many people or processes before quality breaks down. 5, might be 7. Then coordination falls apart. Things slip and you move to add another layer of management. That single rules shaped how every company is structured. And this is why org charts have layers. It is why growth usually means more managers. Here's my view on that. AI is the first technology in a long time that genuinely raises the span of control, because a well-built system can now hold part of the oversight that used to require a human manager. It can watch every case, not a sample. It can flag the exceptions instead of waiting for the weekly review, and keep the standard visible to everyone at once. That means one capable operator can now run more of the business than the old rule allowed. But this is the whole point only if work is clear enough for software to help carry it. The old limit of span of control was human attention. The new limit is clarity. If your process only lives in one experienced person's head, AI cannot extend your reach because there is nothing explicit for it to hold. If your process is clear, AI can widen that one person can run, and that is leverage you could not buy before. For a service company, this is the opportunity plainly stated. You might not need another layer of management to grow. You might need a clear system that lets your best operators oversee more without dropping quality. So the takeaway: find the place where you are about to add a management layer because someone is stretched too thin. Before you add the layer, ask which part of that oversight could be a clear, instrumented system carry. This is where AI gives you room to grow without growing the org chart first. So the takeaway: the old limit on how much one person could run was attention. AI is making the new limit clarity, and clarity is something you can build. So this is the brief. 5 doors, 1 argument. Division of labor got a new cut, and the new work is putting the pieces back together. An AI agent is still an agent, with all the old question about authority. Falling AI prices are the experience curve, and the curve rewards reinvestment. Automation replaces the task and moves the person toward judgment. And AI raises your span of control, and your system is clear enough to extend. None of these are new business laws. They are laws you already know, finally moving into software. That is what I mean when I say AI is evolution, not a revolution. It is not asking you to think more like a different kind of leader. It is asking you to run a business law you already believe in on purpose and in your systems. The tool is never the point. What it changes is. Thank you, and I will talk to you soon.